the last video I made was pre-pandemic, and here we are 8 months in. So I wanted to come on here and make a video to kind of address where I've been and what I've been doing these past months since the pandemic has happened or started or came to America, whatever you want to say. I made a post on Instagram kind of sharing something that I hadn't really shared on social media. I just told my inner circle what was going on. Then recently I decided why not share it, because it's part of my testimony, it's part of my life, it's part of what I'm going through, and if what I'm going through can encourage other people, why not share it? So I shared it, and then I wanted to do like a follow-up video just to kind of give you an insight of what these past couple months have looked like for me since the pandemic started. I worked at a hospital, and so I'm not a nurse or anything, but I figured because it's a hospital, I would be considered essential. Part of me did think that I was non-essential just because I was in the office, so I was like, I mean, anybody could really do my job, so whatever. But we were working and stuff, and my hours did get cut at one point, and I was working like 20 hours a week, 24 hours a week. And they had me doing like different things in the hospital, not only in the office, but like there was one point where I was sanitizing the masks that the doctors and nurses were using that were coming in contact with COVID patients. There was a time where I was like screening at the door, making sure that only one person per patient was allowed in, and all that different stuff, taking temperatures and whatnot. Then, on June 19th, I got let go, which was really crazy because I went in like a normal day, and then in mid-afternoon, my boss tells me, hey, can you come with me to a meeting? And I found it odd because, hello, me to a meeting? Like what? I knew I wasn't going to get raised, so there was that. But I go to this meeting, and, they're explaining things, and then they're like, yeah, budget cuts, we're going to have to end your position. I'm like, okay. And they're like, yeah, and your last day is today. And I'm like, I'm sorry, what? And they're like, yeah, your last day is today. And I'm just like, okay. So I literally had to, after leaving that meeting, pack up my stuff, my desk and everything, and leave, and hand in my badge and go home. And I went home, and I told my mom, I was like, yeah, I got fired today. And I mean, it wasn't really fired, I got laid off, but I don't know, saying you got fired is just more emphasis, I'm joking, but I don't know. Those that are closer to me know that I liked the job, and it was a cool foot in the door at the time when I applied for it. But so much had happened since I started the position. So much had changed. So many things had shifted. And I really get bored easily. I can't stay in one place for very long, not doing much. And in that job, I really wasn't doing much. So I was already looking for something else, and so getting let go wasn't that huge of a deal. But here's the thing: I wanted to leave. I wanted to leave the job on my own terms, not have them lay me off in the middle of a pandemic, of not knowing where I was supposed to go with no backup. Okay, so that's the thing here. I didn't want to just leave. I wanted to leave when I had something secure, when I knew what I was going to do with my life. And here we are, not knowing what to do, and I'm jobless. Now, I know you're probably thinking, girl, you got unemployment. Like, that's money that you get without working. And especially during the pandemic, you don't have to do all the things of looking for jobs and, giving them proof and all that stuff. And plus, at that time, we was getting an extra $600 per week. So that was, money. Okay, but I understand that, and that's great. But all things don't last forever. And the $600 didn't last very long. Because I got let go in June and that ended in July. And so while the money was nice for a little while, obviously that ended. And then unemployment here in Florida, it's not, you can't live on unemployment. I feel bad for anyone else who has way more bills than me, who has to pay for rent and other things, other expenses that are unemployed right now. Like, my heart goes out to you, because I don't know how you can manage like that, and I know you guys are probably stressed, so my prayers to you guys, because that has to be stressful. So obviously the $600 run out, and things happen, and then that's it. You just get this little sum every 2 weeks, and here we are. And so all the way from June up to now October, or November. What? This year has been 2020. I don't even know what month that is. Oh my god. So anyways, now into November, I've been jobless. Not doing anything except reading and doing online courses. And I met a really great friend online, which, if you're watching this video, Natalie, yes, her name is Natalie, hi. That's one of the good things that came out of quarantine and this pandemic, making a new friend. But I tried to start my own business. I actually tried a couple, probably, but nothing really stuck. Like, I tried it, and then I'd be like, nah, that's not for me. There is one that I have not tried, because I am scared to, but I feel like that's the one that I'm called to do, and I'm not gonna say what it is yet, because I don't want to not jinx it, but I just, when the time is right, I let the Lord lead. I applied to so many jobs, guys. So many. And throughout this time, I'm not gonna lie to you, I got depressed. I got depressed because I was confused. I didn't understand why God would allow me to get let go when I had nothing planned, no idea what to do, nada, zilch, nothing. Okay? And so I was just wondering, like, what's going on? And I was depressed for a while, and I was mad, and I was upset, and I didn't understand at all what was going on. When I tell you nothing worked, I mean nothing. Like, I would get calls back, but then something would get in the way, or it wasn't what I was looking for. Or I would pray, and I'd be like, God, if this is not the thing for me, do this and this. And boom, he would do it. And I'm like, okay, I know I'm praying about these things, and I'm telling you to, like, let me know. But also, if you're gonna tell me no, I would like to know yes. Like, what is yes? What am I supposed to do? And yeah, I didn't get any answers. But I just kept trying to do things here and there. I even tried to go back to school, to go into programs that I knew I was good at. I thought about graphic design. I thought about IT, because I like those things. I may not look like it, but I do like designing and stuff, and I do like computers and things like that. So, but nothing worked. I even prayed about that. I even thought about going back to nursing school. I thought about EKG. I thought about being a phlebotomist. Guys, when I tell you I tried everything. Going through all of this, it was really hard to pray to God. It was really hard to learn to depend on Him, because I was like, you're not telling me anything. You're not answering. I don't hear you, and it's really frustrating. But I am starting to realize that God has wanted me to be still, and God has wanted me to trust Him more, like to really trust Him, and to just stop making my own plans, stop trying to do my own things my own way. Because if you guys remember, last year I went through hell, basically. If you guys don't remember, I live across the street of a fire department, so there's that. You guys remember I made a couple of videos last year about some situations I had been going through. And it was, I wouldn't say it's the same situation, because definitely not, but in the sense of me trying to plan my life and trying to do things the way I want to do them, it's kind of the same thing. And evidently I didn't learn that lesson. Like, I've learned other lessons in that since that time that I needed to learn, like emotionally and mentally and stuff, but apparently I didn't learn that lesson of stop trying to plan your life out because you just don't know how it's gonna go. But I'm a planner, and that's how I function. I need to know how to do things, when, how, who, what. That's just how I am. But evidently God's like, no girl, you need to trust me 100% and let me do what I need to do. And so that's what I feel like I am supposed to be learning throughout this whole time. Explaining that to other people is really hard, because one of the things I hate is when you meet somebody or you talk to somebody or you see somebody and they're like, so what are you doing? Are you in school? Are you working? Like, all these questions. If you know me, you know I hate questions. How do you tell these people that God doesn't want you to work? They're gonna be like, what? So it was really hard to kind of balance that and let people know, like, no, I'm waiting on God. And there were times that I was at peace, but there were times that something would happen and I'd be like, oh no, God, what am I supposed to do? And he's like, girl, chill. Like, come on. Other things that I've been trying to do throughout the pandemic is just focus on myself and bettering myself and, you know, growing and all that stuff. And I've been reading self-help books and just trying to do things that kind of push me out of my comfort zone and do things that I've always wanted to do, and 2 things that I've always wanted to do that I finally did, because my excuse before was I didn't have the time, but now I have all the time. So 2 of those things was learning how to play the the ukulele and the guitar. And so I learned how to play the ukulele first because I read that if you want to learn how to play the guitar, learning how to play the ukulele first is easier to transfer the guitar, and I have found that to be true. So if you're out there and you want to learn how to play the guitar, I would suggest playing the ukulele first, getting used to like the hand shapes and all that stuff. And then it'll be easier to move to guitar, and your fingers won't hurt as much, but you will still get calluses and there will still be a little pain, but it's not that bad. But yeah, that's 2 things that I've been wanting to do for forever, and I'm so happy that I finally learned how to do it. I learned how to play the ukulele in like a month because I was practicing every day. And I'm really excited. I still have a lot to learn in the ukulele, but I can play a lot of songs. And in guitar, I definitely have a lot more to learn, but I can play a lot of songs on there too, so that's really exciting for me. I did used to play the piano. I took classes for 2 years, but I didn't really practice or stick to it. I don't really think it was my thing, but I really do think guitar is my thing, and I'm really happy that I found my thing. And so yeah, that's something that I've been doing throughout this pandemic. And I'm also learning how to trying to learn how to speak French. I don't know a lot of things. There's just things that I really kind of knew, like je m'appelle, my name is, but there's other things that I'm trying to learn. And so that's another thing that I've been trying to do, just doing different things to keep me occupied and just kind of, you know, become a better person all around. So that's another thing that I've been in the midst of all this craziness, some things to keep me sane. And so that has been the process in this past months of unemployment and pandemic life. And there's some other things that have been going on in my life, things that it's tough to share right now, but when the time is right, I know I'll be able to share them and kind of just give you a little more insight about what's been going on. But I don't have a full picture yet. I don't have answers as to why this happened, but I do feel like God is preparing me for something big, and I do know that this is part of his plan for something bigger. Sometimes he has to take us out of distractions, out of situations, and just leave us there for us to realize that we are nothing without him. And I feel like he loves me so much. He cares about me so much that he's telling me, like, girl, I got you out of so many situations. I'm trying to save you. Just let me help you. Let me help you. I can be stubborn, and I feel like sometimes he has to allow certain things to happen for us to, wake up and stuff. And so I do want to say, though, that the day after I posted or shared about me being unemployed for all this time, I had a friend who told me that her company that she works for was looking for someone, and that she prayed about it, and she felt like this was for me, and she gave the person my number, my information, and that person called me. And when they called me, they were like, yeah, we need this somebody to do this ASAP, and can you start tomorrow? And so there's that. And I started in that, and because she prayed about it, I felt like it was from God, and I didn't feel uneasy. Usually if I know something is not right, I feel really uneasy. But I didn't feel any uneasiness with this. And it's remote, it's at home, so I could still be here and help my parents and stuff. And so I just find it crazy that the moment I shared that, and the moment that I started to actually be intentional and trusting God more, and trying to make an extra effort to just take a deep breath and just let the things go that I can't control, and try to be more relaxed and not so stressed, that he was like, okay, I'm gonna give you this job. It's temporary, because it is temporary. It has to do with COVID. So however COVID lasts, I guess that's however long I'll have a job. Not only with this job, but even in different times, God has provided for me. He's always looking out for his kids, and I think that's awesome. He's provided me with little jobs of like photography and house sitting jobs, and like just other little things here and there where I get a little bit extra cash that has helped immensely. And I just, I'm at a point where I don't want to stress out anymore. I don't want to continue in this vicious cycle of worry and doubt and getting depressed and trying to figure life out when God has a master plan already. He is the master, and he has a master plan for my life, and that's what I need to focus on. I need to focus on the fact that he's in control, and that he works all things together for good for those who love him. That's been a verse that I've been clinging to in this time of my life right now. And I don't want to keep doubting him, because he is so amazing. He's so great. He's powerful, and he can do anything. And, even though sometimes I don't understand and I want things my way and I think I know what's best, I really don't. And I have proven that to myself many times before in decisions that I've made. I'm just trying really hard to put my fear, my anxiety aside, and just trust God fully, knowing that even though my life is not going the way I planned, or how I thought it would go, how I'd like it to go, I have a God who won't let me down, ever. And I think that's a pretty good reason to keep going. So this wraps up this video, and I'm gonna try to be more consistent, guys, okay? I have a lot of ideas that I write down, so there's gonna be more content coming. And yes, so this wraps this up. Keep on keeping on.